cannot be able to condemn us because we're speaking according to God's words.
Right.
So if I say something and it may rub somebody the wrong way, right? But if I spoke out of this, the problem's not with me. The problem's going to be with this. So that's why we got to use God's words when we're wrong. If we get caught up using our words, people can argue us down and do this and do that. But if I'm using God's words, hey, your arm's too short to box with him.
There you go.
You can't argue and go back and forth with him.
Right.
That's teaching that Lord.
Read what you got.
Romans chapter 3 and verse 4. God forbid ye let God be true, but every man a liar.
So let God's word be true and every man a liar. So when I say something that's not in here, I'm a liar.
That's right.
God's word is true, so I got to repeat God's word. Read it again.
Verse 4. God forbid ye let God be true.
Let God's word be true. Read.
But every man a liar.
Every man a liar. Read.
As it is written.
As it is written. As it is written in the scriptures. As it is written, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are the children of Israel.
That's right.
God's word is true, and man's word is a lie.
That's right.
Read.
That thou mightest be justified.
That thou may be justified. That you are not wrong in what you're saying because you're repeating God's word. So when I tell the young sister, look, you're a princess. You're royalty. You are above all nations. Because I read it out of here, I'm not wrong for saying that.
No, you're not.
You got your hand up here. Why the youngest one out here got all the questions? How come the older people don't have more questions, right?
Yeah.
Wait, go to John 10 and 27.
It was something on your eye.
John 10 and 27. Because the scripture says what? The truth's gonna come out of the mouth of babes. We're seeing that happen right now.
That's
It looks like the youngest soul out here is the one more earnestly trying to figure out, how do I get in God's word?
Right.
How does it pertain to me?
Right.
Read what you got.
John chapter 10 and verse 27. My sheep hear my voice.
His sheep do what?
My sheep hear my voice.
So this sheep hears God's voice. She didn't walk by and just see us out here, oh, them just a bunch of niggas, they black people, I don't got no respect for them because they not the so-called white people. She came out here and she didn't see us, she heard God's voice.
That's right.
Read.
And I know them. And they follow me.
And they follow God. So she's earnestly asking questions because she wants to follow God.
Right.
That soul is saying, that's my father right there. That's my father speaking through these men. So I'm about to ask them questions because they're going to tell me what my father wants me to hear.
That's right.
John 8 and 42. Yeah, 47. So we're going to get something else, okay? Because it says in the scriptures, my sheep hear my voice. And there's a reason why it says that, because conversely, it's going to say the opposite, that his sheep, that those people that aren't his sheep aren't going to hear him. Read.
John chapter 8 and verse 47. He that is of God.
So he that is of God, or the sheep that is of his pasture, read.
Heareth God's word.
You hear God's words, you hear his voice. What you got, sis? Okay, understandable. Do y'all have flyers? Take those flyers home, show them to your grandma, okay? Because your grandma sounds like she's got some understanding of how we used to do in the scriptures. She may not know exactly where it's at, but that's already in her spirit. Look. Go to... Okay. To take those flyers, take heed to the information on there, okay? It's important. And pass it on to any members of your family that might take heed as well, too, okay? All right. Shalom. You got any questions about what y'all hearing, brother?
Nah, it's cool.
Okay.
I want to hear that.
Well, let's start with this now. Do you know your nationality? Because we out here talking about laws, this, statutes, that, but the laws are only given to a certain people, right? So only a certain people is obligated to be keeping these laws. So in order to find out if you're that people, because the Bible talks about all nations on the earth. God's not dealing with all nations, but I can find a record of all nations in this Bible. So which one of those nations do you descend from? Because the names we call ourselves now, I can't open the Bible and find, and thus saith the Lord to the African Americans. That's not in there. But what he was calling our ancestors before, that's in there. Right. So we got to know, what was he calling us to know how this pertains to us. So what's your nationality? Okay. Isaiah chapter 1 and 3. A lot of our people don't know. But some of our people are prideful and they don't want to admit they don't. Brother, stay for a minute. You got to find out your nationality. You're not supposed to be working today. As the sons of Israel, we're not supposed to work today. It's the Sabbath, okay?
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3.
So here's the issue. We always got to go to work, but we ain't never got to worry about what God said.
That's right.
But the Most High God may decide to make the roof on his work fall on him.
Right.
And then he's going to be like, well, why'd you do that, God? Well, you ain't have time for me, so why should I have time for you to walk my earth?
Right. That's right.
But we don't think about those things. Read.
The ox knoweth his owner.
So the ox is a cattle, like a cow or a steer. It knows who it belongs to. Read.
And the ass his master's crib.
The ass is the donkey or the jackass. He knows where he has to go to lay his head down and sleep. So he knows where he comes from. Read.
But Israel.
But who?
But Israel.
The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, read.
Do not know.
We don't know. Like the sister walking by with the Christmas hat on. She don't know who she belonged to. Why is she wearing that hat? That's not our people and that's not our custom. Christmas is not in the scripture, sis.
That's right.
We don't know who we belong to. Read the verse again. Read the verse again.
The ox knoweth his owner.
A cow knows who he belongs to. Read.
And the ass his master's crib.
And so does the jackass. Read.
But Israel.
But you in the Christmas hat, read.
Do not know.
She don't know who she belonged to. If she did, she wouldn't be wearing that hat.
That's
she wouldn't know this holiday was about how they gave us as gifts.
Right.
How they had us tied up in chains and ropes and gave us to each other. They would give you to a little Edomite girl, which who we call so-called white people. They would give you to her as a present, as a pet.
Right.
You would be a pet to that little girl. She would drag you around on a rope and you be her dog. If we knew that, we wouldn't be wearing those damn hats. She don't know who she belonged to, like the scriptures say. That's how we know the scriptures are true, because we can look at our people and see that God didn't lie. God pegged us exactly how we are.
Right.
Why does he peg us exactly how we are? Because he knows us. He's the only one that dealt with us. These other nations don't deal with us. When we try to deal with them, they exclude us. They kick us out of their clubs. They deny us membership. They don't want us around in their neighborhoods, but we constantly want to deal with them. God constantly wants to call out to us and deal with us, but we ignore God. Read. What you got?
Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 22.
Come on.
For my people is foolish.
Our people are foolish. She's running around in a hat, has no idea the history of that hat. She's foolish. We are foolish people. As a people, men are so foolish. They will wear their pants below their butt, exposing their nakedness. And then they will take a belt, an item designed to keep your pants up, and use it to hold their pants down.
Bring it out.
We are foolish.
That's right. They have not known me.
We have not known God. We have not known that this is his son. He looks like his son. We have not known that we are his people, that he made us in his image, that he gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. We have not known him. Read.
They are Sodom's children.
Sodom is another word for stupid. We are stupid children. Read.
And they have none understanding.
And we don't have any understanding. We don't have any understanding about what's happened to our people and why. We don't have any understanding about why we're in the state we're in, because we don't know God. We don't know his word to understand why we're at the bottom of society. Read.
They are wise to do evil.
We are what?
They are wise to do evil.
A brother will flunk out of high school, not get his GED, but then he will set up a chemistry lab in his apartment to make drugs.
Bring it out.
He's wise to do it, to do evil.
Right.
But when he was in the schoolhouse, he didn't know how to open the book and pass the test.
That's right.
He's wise to do evil.
Right.
Read.
But to do good.
But to serve the Most High God,
Right.
do his laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Read.
They have no knowledge.
We have no knowledge. Jeremiah 10. Jeremiah 10 and 1. We have
Bring
no
it out.
knowledge. We are wise to do evil. We will go buy a hat and put it on our head, knowing good and damn well, even the image of this so-called Santa Claus is not black. But we're going to put on a hat like it pertains to us.
That's right.
Read.
Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Bring it out.
There's important information for you to listen to, all right? It's more important than that phone call. Read.
Hear ye the word which the Lord spaketh unto you.
So, Israel, proof that we Israel. We ain't never had time for the Most High.
That's
so,
right.
he sent us in the timeout. He said, go into slavery for 400 years since you don't have time for me.
Right. That's right.
Since you apparently don't have time for me, you got time to be in slavery.
Right.
Read.
O house of Israel.
Oh, who?
O house of Israel.
Read.
Verse 2, thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen.
So we weren't supposed to learn the ways of the other nations. The heathen is any other nation outside of the nation of Israel.
Right.
Read.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
The heathen, the other nations, are dismayed at the signs of heaven. They're troubled by what's going on in the sky. They be like, oh, look, it's a super eclipse. Let's go watch it and see what's going to happen. That's in their spirit, to be troubled by what's going on in the sky, because they have an issue to worship those things. They are idolaters.
Right.
They worship creation. They worship the sun, the moon, and the stars.
Right.
So when something's going on that they're not too sure about, they're troubled. Read.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
And then they teach us to be dismayed at the same things, because while they're trying to watch the eclipse or this and that, or for that reason, or astrology, they put it on all the news channels and make it seem like we're supposed to be worried about it too.
Right. For the customs of the people are vain.
Their customs don't have a use, they're empty. Read.
For one cutteth a tree.
Now, what's going to happen in a few days, a lot of our people are going to celebrate what we now call Christmas. I can read about the customs attached to this so-called holiday, which is a holiday. I can read about the customs in the scriptures. So let's see what the scriptures say and see if we're still doing these things today. Read.
Bring it up. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
So one goes into the forest and they cut a tree down. Read.
The work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
Okay.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
They do what to the tree?
They deck it with silver and with gold.
What do we hang on those trees when we bring them into our houses?
Lights.
Silver and gold. Right. So now we have a tree. We cut the tree down and then we decorate the tree with silver and gold. Read.
They fasten it with nails and with the hammer, that it move not.
What does the tree have to do with Christ being born?
Bring it up.
When has the tree ever been a symbolism for birth?
Right.
That makes no sense. But we don't ask, just like Isaiah 1 and 3. We don't consider. Like we don't go, okay, so what does the tree have to do with this man being born? We don't even consider are we supposed to be doing birthdays or not.
Bring it up.
We just receive what we're told and we do it. Blind.
Right.
We never consider. Finish that script, read it out.
They are upright as the palm tree.
They're upright. The first Christmas tree, so-called Christmas tree, was the palm tree. Esau even has a commercial out. Esau's a so-called white man. There's a commercial out now for Corona. And it's a guy drinking a Corona in the hut. And it's a Christmas commercial. He hits a light switch and a palm tree outside lights up with Christmas lights. They know what they're doing. They know what they're worshiping. But we don't know, because we don't ask, we don't know God, and we don't go seeking His word. Look, it's what these people teaching us correct. No, because it doesn't line up with this. Finish.
But speak not.
But those trees don't speak. These heathens were scared of these trees. They were scared of the so-called spirits in the trees. Read.
They must needs be born.
Born was an old English word for carry. These trees had to be carried because they can't move. Read.
Because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them.
So be not afraid of them. The heathens were afraid of this time because they had a story about if you didn't put presents under that tree, that's where we get the presents from. If you didn't put presents under that tree was going to get up and kill you in your sleep. So in order to avoid that, they would nail the tree in place because they were dismayed by these things. We're not supposed to learn these customs. Colossians 2 and 8. Sis, important information over here, okay? It's more important than whatever you think you're going right now. There's a reason why the Most High has the prophets out here and you happen to be walking by here. This is your chance to learn who you are, what we're supposed to do to get out of the condition we're in, and to receive this earth as our inheritance.
That's right.
We are co-inheritors with Christ. You are the children of Israel, sis. You're supposed to be a princess of the Most High. You're not supposed to be wandering up and down the street, showing your shape off to just any man.
That's right.
That's just the bluntness of it, okay?
Right.
When have we ever seen the so-called Queen of England wearing pants? But we accept that because we realize if you're royalty, you ain't supposed to be dressing like that.
Right.
So because we don't know that we are royalty, we dress the way we dress.
Right.
Our sisters put on pants and show off their shape because they don't understand that they are royalty.
That's right.
That no other man should see what they look like except the man who says, I'm willing to die for you.
Right.
I'm not going to deal with any other woman on this earth except you. He's the one who has the right to see her shape in private because he's going to do all the responsibilities that come with it. Yeah, no. Go to Colossians 2 and 8.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
Come on.
Beware lest any man spoil.
So lest any man spoil you. Because the church will tell you about so-called Satan and the devil. The devil is the white man. He is the devil the Bible speaks of. It says, beware lest any man read.
Spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit.
Spoil you through teachings, through philosophy. They spoil you. They spoil us by doing what? Hey, you ain't got to keep God's laws. Break the Sabbath and come take your money and spend it with me. Now you've been spoiled. Read.
And vain deceit.
And vain deceit. Because it's deceit, at the end of the day, it's all going to be destroyed. Nuclear fire is set for this place. So all the deceit they taught is vain. Why? Because eventually it's going to come crashing down.
Right.
So they taught us this vain deceit. It's vain because it's not going to last. But they're keeping us asleep. So we think it's going to last forever. And we hold on to them and say, oh, you know, my favorite neighborhood white man, you know, everything he tells me is right. And I ain't got to worry about nothing. But when that sky cracks, you're going to worry, all right. And you're going to remember when the prophets were out here telling you, look, repent and come back to your nationality as Israel.
That's right.
Come out of your sins. Get back with the Most High God and be in His graces. Learn these laws, statutes, and commandments to help raise up the nation.
Right.
So we can get out of here.
Right.
Because I don't know about you, but I'm tired of working for these other nations.
That's right.
I'm tired of going to their job. Oh, look, man, they're paying me good money there. I make $20 an hour. If Esau's paying you $20 an hour, how much money do you think he's making off of you? Brother, take one of these flyers, man. Take one of these flyers. You went in the store, you took your money to them and then left. And they're not going to take anything into your community. We're trying to give you something to take into your community to heal our people. Do you know your nationality according to the Bible? Deuteronomy 28. What you say, brother? What we out here doing is we're showing our people, the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Indians, that you are the children of Israel.
Right.
You are God's chosen people. We've lost that connection to our heritage and our history. A lot of our people, if we had 20 so-called black people out here right now, and we asked each one of them to put on a sheet of paper, what is your nationality? We'd get 20 different answers.
That's right.
Why? If we all the same people, why do we not all have the same answer?
Right.
There's a reason for that. Read. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
So in Deuteronomy, Moses is speaking to the children of Israel. We're going to get that for you real quick. Read.
But it shall come to pass.
Future prophecy, is going to happen at a later date. Read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
The thou is the children of Israel. If you will not listen to what God says, read.
to observe, to do all his commandments,
To do some of his commandments.
to do all his commandments,
To do the ones I like.
to do all his commandments,
So we have to do all of what God told us to do. Read.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
Which we were given as commandments. That's why Moses says, look, you're being commanded this day. Read.
that all these curses
That all these evil things, read.
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So these evil things were going to happen to us if we didn't follow God's commandments.
Right.
Verse 32. This is one of the evil things that happened because when Moses told us, it was prophecy. But now we can look in history and see that what he said actually happened.
Right.
So what he said was true. Read.
Verse 32.
Listen, this is important information, all right? It's more important than whatever sale you think you're about to get. Read.
Thy sons and thy daughters
Your sons and your daughters, read.
shall be given unto another people.
Who did that happen to? Whose sons and daughters were given to another people? What is that called? Slavery. Who did slavery happen to?
Black people. Indians.
It happened to the Indians as well too, right? The so-called blacks, the Hispanics, and the Native Americans. What happened to us? So that's a sign that this people Moses was talking to was us. He said, look, if you don't follow God's statutes and commandments, this is going to happen to you.
Right.
No other nation can say, yeah, that happened to us. Yeah, we got sold to another people. That's history. We know that thing. If somebody were to tell you that, you look at them like they're stupid. Nobody went in slavery or slave ships like we did. Keep reading.
Shall be given unto another people.
So our sons and daughters were given to another people. Read.
And thy eyes shall look and fail in longing for them.
So our eyes, we were the witnesses to the fact that they were taking our families and splitting them apart. They would come in your household and snatch your kids out from under you and sell them to another plantation. Read.
All the day long. And there should be no might in thy hand.
And we had no power to stop it. Because it was happening during our slavery. This transatlantic slave trade. We had no power to stop our homes from being torn apart. That's a sign. Moses said, look, if you don't follow God's words, this is going to happen to you. And he didn't say something easy to be misunderstood. He got specific. He said, this specific thing, A, B, C, in this direction will happen to you. Jump to verse 68. Brother, take one of these flyers while y'all here, man. You listen to this truth coming out of here, okay?
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
So the Lord is going to bring the children of Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, into Egypt. What does Egypt mean?
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2.
Because the Bible answers itself. It'll give you a question in one book, and you can go to another book to get the answer. You don't have to search outside the Bible to understand the Bible. Okay. So in Deuteronomy it says the Lord was going to bring us into Egypt again. Let's see what Egypt means. Read.
Verse 2. I am the Lord thy God.
The Lord thy God, or your God. I'm not the Lord everybody's God. I'm the Lord thy God.
That's right. Which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Who did God bring out of Egypt in the Exodus? Who did he bring out? His people, right? His people, which are called what? The children of Israel. Yeah. He split the Red Sea and brought his people out of Egypt. He didn't bring the whole world out of Egypt. Egypt was a separate people from us. That's why he brought us out from Egypt. So Egypt means what? Read.
Out of the house of bondage.
Egypt means house of bondage. Go back to Deuteronomy. Another word for bondage is what? Slavery. Slavery. So Moses is explaining to our forefathers and foremothers, look, he's using the term Egypt because we were most familiar with Egypt at the time he had just left. So read the verse again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68.
Come on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Or into slavery, into the same slavery we did in Egypt. Read.
Again with ships.
With ships. Who went into slavery on ships?
Us.
That's us. That only applies to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Yeah. Moses was talking to our ancestors in the wilderness. And God is talking to us now.
Right.
These are supposed to be signs for us to wake up and come back to serving the Most High God.
Right.
Part of doing that is knowing our nationality. Being able to go ahead and go, oh man, this book applies to me.
Right.
It applies to my mother and my father. It applies to my brother and my sister. It applies to my children. This applies to us as a nation. This book is going to help us learn who we are, what we need to do to get out of the situation we're in, and how we need to stay until God sends back his son to save us.
Right.
Okay? Read what you got.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Exactly the way Moses spake. Did we not go into slavery on ship? That was prophesied thousands of years before it happened. So how do you get that so right unless God showed it to you? God showed Moses this is exactly how it's going to happen, and that's exactly how it played out. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
All right, check that fire out, brother. You are a child of Israel, okay? You got to repent and come back to his laws. Okay, read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
And we never saw our homeland anymore again. Go to Galatians 4 and 26.
Galatians.
Yeah, go ahead.
Chapter 4 and verse 26.
Because we think the homeland is so-called Africa. The homeland is Jerusalem. That's where we're originally from. Read.
But Jerusalem.
But what?
But Jerusalem.
Come on.
Which is the above is free.
Is what?
Which is above is free.
So Jerusalem is above all other lands, just like we are above all other people. Right. So if we're above all other people, our land was above all other lands. Read.
Which is the mother of us all.
Which is the motherland of us all. We come from Jerusalem. So Moses said, look, God's going to take you into this land, it's going to be yours. But if you violate his laws, he's going to snatch you out that land and you're not going to see it again. Read.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into slavery again. Read.
With ships.
With ships.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Slave men. Read.
And bond women.
For some reason, the women think that we weren't in this together. That, oh, I don't need a man. We came here together. We leaving together.
Right.
We came here in slavery. We leaving out as rulers of this earth.
Right.
But we doing it together. The same way we came in together, we got to leave together. Give me the book of Savannah 2 and 1.
Get out.
So together, we have an issue with being together. Why? One, we don't know who we are. And two, we don't keep his laws. That's why we have an issue with being together. Read what you got.
Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Gather yourselves together. Read.
Ye gather together. O nation not desired.
O nation not desired. As a nation, we're not desired. So we don't have time to have internal strife and be arguing with each other. Collectively, we are not desired by any of the other nations. When we move somewhere, what's the phrase they use? Yeah, it's divide and conquer. We're supposed to gather together because they split us apart.
That's right.
They told us, you were here so you're an American black, he's a Jamaican, he's a Haitian, he's from Puerto Rico, he's Dominican. They split us and then told us you're the minority. But if we did this, if we gathered together as a nation, as one people, are we the minority any longer? So in order to defeat us, they had to come up with divide and conquer. They being all the other nations. They all had a hand in it. Because when we were ruling over all of this together. So they all came together to say, this is what we got to do to get on top of them.
Bring it out.
And the first thing they had to do was split us up.
Right.
Divide and conquer. Read.
Savannah chapter 3 and verse 8.
Or 2 and 1.
Savannah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Yeah.
Gather yourself together.
So we have to gather together. Why? Because we've been divided. We're gathering together to make up for the fact that they divided us. Read.
Gather yourself together. Ye gather together, O nation not desired.
Nation not desired. So what we have to do is we have to take a cold, hard look at ourselves and go, you know what? These nations don't desire us. Because if we don't realize they don't desire us, or we don't gather together, it says, oh, nation not desired. So we got to realize these nations don't desire us. They don't want us around them. They don't want our kids going to school with their kids. They don't want our kids playing in the playground with their playground. They don't want that. But until we admit that part, we don't realize we're not desired. We think they want us around. So then we're hanging out with these people and they're laughing. They're laughing at us. They're not laughing alongside us.
That's right.
They're laughing at us. They're pointing at us. We're a spectacle to them. Look, Psalms 44 and 14.
Get out.
We're a spectacle to them. And that's a part of the curses. They're not here for our help. They're here for our hurt.
Right. Psalms chapter 44 and verse 14. Bring it out. Thou madest us a byword among the heathen.
So the Most High made us a byword among the heathen. We were scattered amongst their lands, and they called us different names outside of our God-given name, which is Israel. Read.
And shaking the head among the people.
And the people were shaking of the head. When they see sisters, you need to pay attention to what's coming out here, okay? Because it's primarily us divided, the men divided and the women divided, and we become a shaking of the head. When they see us in videos having to fight each other and they film it and go, World Star, we're a shaking of the head. Like,
that's
oh,
right.
Them silly Negroes over there fighting each other again. We're a shaking of the head.
Right.
They look at what we do and how we act and they go, how is these people so destroyed? How did they not realize they should be helping each other and united? We're a shaking of the head among the people. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37.
So Psalms chapter 44, we can read that verse in Deuteronomy 28. Come on.
And verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
And you shall be in astonishment. Or somebody looks at you and they go, wow. They wonder, what happened to these people? What caused them to go from where they were at to where they are now? Read.
A proverb.
A proverb is a wise saying. Have you ever heard the expression, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it where? In a book. Because they have a proverb, a wise saying that says, we don't read. We like chicken and watermelon. We love red Kool-Aid. Like, that's the only flavor of Kool-Aid, and that's the only thing we drink. They got these wise sayings against us. Read.
And a byword.
And a byword. That's calling us outside our God-given name. Read.
Among all the nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
Among all the nations. There's not one country, one nation on this earth that's calling us the children of Israel.
Right.
There's nowhere you can go, but they're actually calling you your God-given name.
Right.
All nations have come up with words against us. Over here, you might be the American black. In China, they have a slang term to talk about you and to talk about you to your face.
Right.
Everywhere we go, they're not calling us God's chosen people. They're not calling us the prince of the power.
Right.
They're not calling us the sons of God.
Right.
All nations have come together for that. We're gonna show you the Bible puts together a hit list of the nations for what they've done to us, right?
That's
We're gonna read that real quick. Read.
Psalms chapter 83 and verse 2. Bring it out. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
So God's enemies make a tumult. Read verse 1.
Verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O God.
So a lot of our people go through things, right? Our grandmothers being these so-called churches, and because of the oppression they're going through, they call themselves crying out to God. They're asking God to not be silent. Read.
Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God.
So as a people, we're the most spiritual people on the planet. And we can read that in the scriptures. Because we're the only ones that have a connection with the Most High God.
Right.
So, somewhere in the back of our minds, we know at the end of the day, we're supposed to be trying to get with God.
Right.
Read.
For lo, thy enemies
So God's enemies, read,
make a tumult.
they make an angry gathering, read,
And they that hate thee
and they that hate God, read,
have lifted up the head.
have become prideful. They have become prideful because we took the image of God's son and we said he looks like us. And what y'all gonna do about it as God's people? Well, we gonna come out here, we're gonna tear down imaginations.
That's right.
We're gonna cast these false images down. That's what we're gonna do now.
That's right. For they have taken crafty counsel.
So God's enemies have taken crafty counsel. They come together and they created a plan, read,
against thy people.
against God's people, read,
And consulted against thy hidden one.
and they consulted against us. We're hidden. We're walking up and down the street not knowing who we are. We are
Right.
hidden. They have hidden our true nationality in the history books. They've hidden it in our names and what we call ourselves. They've hidden it in the customs they teach us. We have become hidden. Now, this chapter is talking about God's enemies. If God loves everybody, how does God have enemies?
That's
If
right.
he's dealing with everybody, how does he have enemies?
Right.
He's not dealing with everybody. And when you read the Bible, you see the truth.
Bring it out. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us cut them off or make them quit calling themselves one united people. Make them quit calling themselves by the name of Israel. Let us come together for that reason. Divide and conquer. Read.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So that we would not remember who we are, who God is, and what we're supposed to do to get back into power. Because he made the promises to our forefathers. Look, pass this down. I'm going to give this blessing to your children. I'm going to give this to your seed. I'm going to make them a great nation. This and that, X, Y, Z. But he said to that nation, the sons of Israel. He didn't say the sons of the American blacks. They have to know that they are Israel. Read.
For they have consulted together with one conscience.
So they have come together with one consent. They have consulted with one consent. When he came over here to set up that hair shop, he got consent or permission from the white man to get a business license and go into their community and destroy their self-image. He got consent to do that. They came together. He flew over here and said, I want to come into your country so I can take advantage of them. So-called white man said, sure, that sounds fantastic. Here's a business license, here's the building you need, and here's the location you need to be at to take advantage of these people.
Right.
That was one consent.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.